Welcome back to this another live session, traders, on another important trading day, Thursday, 4th of December 2025. And after yesterday's ADP non-farm, that you can see the market, we have seen there was an initial bounce and then immediately the market had a rejection back below here in that market. So what we can see here in this market currently, after that ADP non-farm employment change, there was ISM service PMI, which I have seen that the past day has created that move here, followed by there is unemployment claims. So there is coming today unemployment claims in NY session. We would like to see that how the market is reacting today in this area. And with that being said, I'm looking at here gold, and also we will be looking at some other instrument as well to see that what kind of trading opportunity we might see in this market. So starting with gold, and also we will be looking at other pairs as well. Thanks for joining here to this live session, traders. I hope that you are ready for a big live session today. And this is the first live session. There will be another one, and starting with, first of all, daily chart as usual on gold to see that where the market is heading. Good morning, Varun, welcome. And here is the daily price action so far. What we can see that on Friday there was a stronger bullish impulse here on Friday, last day of trading week. And with this bullish impulse back to the upside in this market, we can see this is the Monday's candle, followed by Tuesday, Wednesday, and now the market is coming to a level where here now locally we can see that downtrend, but we might see at any point of time the price to potentially to have a rejection in this market, as the long-term trend here in this market is bullish. So we are looking at this market structure to look for bullish entry for the long term. And at the same time, we can see that today's market, from this daily open, the market has created potentially here downtrend. So the lower time frame market structure could show that downtrend. If you look at the 4-hour here, what do you see? There is quite a few long week rejections. So this is a long week, pretty strong drop, followed by another long week, stronger drop. So 4-hour chart here that you can see series of lower high, and with this series of lower high here, the market has entirely broken back below in this market. So this is where the market structure locally is showing that bearish. And looking at the 1-hour and the lower time frame here, the market is maintaining series of lower high, and with this series of lower high there is a break of support that you can see in this market. And with this break of support, there's entirely the market has broken back below from this support level with a narrower 1-hour doji that the market has created. And today's market so far, we can see that from that level the price is broken back below, and we could see the market entirely could continue to drop down here to the support level. And so far this is what I'm looking at. If you look at the 15 minutes, there is a downtrend. Starting from this level, there is an impulse correction, another impulse correction. The market is maintaining now a downtrending market structure. So that being said, lower time frame market structure here is here that showing up to be bearish. Good morning everyone. Good morning, thanks for joining this live session. Here we are looking at possible trend in the market. It is currently, if you look at this market, is trending, especially there is a previous support which is term resistance here, and because previous support term resistance, expecting that gold to have a rejection here in this market. So I'm going to the 1 minute chart here, that you can see there is a, this is a local uptrend here. You saw there was a stronger rejection back to the upside, and the market maintained this trend here. The price has reached this recent level of resistance. There is a strong FVG, which is the 1 minute rejection that you can see, and breaking above this level can give a, if you look at here, can give a significant selling opportunity, as the market is currently trending in the downtrend. So daily chart that looking at, we can identify the levels on the daily and also the lower time frame. So if you look at, this is the lower time frame trend, potentially creating significant bullish impulse here that you can see on the lower time frame. And that market, once it turns to a bear market, we can look at for this market to sell to this swing low or even lower than this. And there's one important point that we need to note down here, that this is a, that low globally it's a bull market. So if you look at the daily price action, that you can see it's a bull market. Now in that bullish market, once the market has done enough pullback and the market dropped from those levels, we can look at this market to eventually turn to locally a bull market. So the lower time frame that you can see, this is a 1 minute trend, and it's still showing that the market may go little up further. Once it prepare for a drop, we can look for sell. Are you looking to sell or buy this market? You can start a poll. So there is a poll here, you can cast a vote. Let's see that what most of the members are thinking here. So do you think that gold is gonna be today bullish from the daily or bearish? Now this is a 1 minute fair value gap that you can see here, which is entirely a rejection and which is a fair value gap in the market. And once the market feel that fair value gap, it's going to the swing low, that means support down resistance, and that's where we can expect a potential rejection in this market. We will be using a pending order for potential sell this market once we find suitable entry opportunity here. So also looking at dollar yen, if you look at dollar yen, there was, this market was bullish. Now, what are you going to say, that dollar yen to be bearish or bullish? And also the Gbpjpy. Dollar yen can have potential. If you look at, this is, we saw there was a drop, and I was expecting the market to drop back below. We see that there is a drop, and then the market has stopped there. So there might be, due to the fundamental, there might be change in the market sentiment that we will be looking at later today, while we are looking at gold here to see that where the market is heading or creating the structure in that area. So where are you looking gold ahead today? So gold, we can say gold is today's market. Once the price open, if you look at the daily market structure, we can see that as soon as the market open, there is a drop here that you can see from this 4200 level. There is an initial break below. So far the market has shown a downtrend in that market. So therefore, if you look at this market structure, it may eventually could melt back down. So we can see that locally it is here making a bullish impulse to the upside, but we might see that the price to eventually curve back down. And because there is a daily drop here initially, therefore the bias still can be to the downside. So moving back to the upside here can be a possibility for us to sell the market. We had successful trade yesterday. You guys have seen that in London as well as NY, both sessions. Now looking at the same pattern, that we want to see a high probability trade setup, which is the most important part in that move. So once the market managed to change the trend, that's where we'll get into the trade. As it is locally here now, it's maintaining an uptrending market structure. If you look at this 1 minute chart, right, from this support, there was a multiple rejection. Now these are subtle clue, guys, that's gonna change the way you look at the market. Especially if you look at the back-to-back 3 candles rejection, you can keep eye on that, right? 3 candle rejection on the any time frame. So if you look at, this is where there is a rejection, right? And in a trend line. So if you connect those support level, and once you connect those support, what do you see? The market maintaining one after one series of higher low, right? And then boom, the market moved. Here you can see the same pattern. One after one, it is smooth trend line, the market rejected. And that's a move. That's a move. These are subtle clues that you always can find very helpful and very beneficial, right? When you see that multiple rejection is important, because multiple rejection confirms that there is continued effort from the buyers here to push that market back to the upside, and that has taken that market in fact back to the upside. Took a counter trend buy on M1 from 4177, target 4190. We had yesterday, if you looked at our NY session, we had a trade with a counter trend. Now, when you are trading the counter trend, it's very, very important that you keep check on the higher time frame support and resistance, because if you see that the market is having a rejection from a key level of support or resistance on the higher time frame, such as on the daily, weekly or monthly, then the trend become very, very stronger, right? So let me give you an idea. All right, that's gonna helpful, because trend trading is very important. When the market open, especially if you look at the daily market open, right? And then in the first two session in early Asian, and in the first session, if you see the market has moved a lot in the beginning of the two sessions, and the market dropped to that same support level in an uptrend, and then the market start to bounce off that level, never trade that counter trend, because here the market from the daily support got the rejection. When the market bounce off or started to move from the daily support or resistance, become very, very high. The volume become very high. So counter trend works mostly that I trade. You guys probably, I don't know, looked at in the news time. Okay, so after the news, when you see the market, not always, because it's nothing, just an understanding, because if you see that due to the news, the market has broken out of the structure with a very unusual bigger candle, and if you see the market actually in a longer term trend the other way, you're gonna see the market will reverse more often. And in those situations, with proper risk management, we do open counter trend that we have seen yesterday. We have opened and we closed within a very short period of time, took the profit, and then the market again reversed back. If you haven't watched the previous day's NY session live, that I would recommend you to watch that. That will give you better understanding. But as I mentioned, it's just one of trade, and it depends on the market situation, right? Not always. Most of the trade that I use always is in the direction of the trend, because direction of the trend is where you can find a bigger trade, bigger win, right? You can hold the trade for bigger win. So now let's look at here now in this lower time frame how the market is creating the structure. Now we can see that this is the 1 minute chart, the price slowly building that pressure back below, and with that break of pressure, they're expecting gold to potentially trend back below here in that market. So there is a if you look at the 5 minutes bearish engulfer and wanting to see the market to break that low here, and this is what we are looking at this price action to drop down back, even cross further low to create a new low. If the market managed to break that low here, we will be looking to sell this market. Once we see the market prepared for that move back below. So because the daily move that we have seen initially started to break below. Now it's still here locally, it's maintaining an uptrend. Once it managed to break the structure for this move back below, we can look at entry or dropping back to this daily support here. The best entry for me to sell, if we sell this market today, is from this daily resistance or daily high. That's gonna be a very important level that we can look at this market to show up. Now if we trade from daily resistance or daily high, another question becomes why you are not entering upside, that means the bullish trade, is because this market can start to reverse at any level, because on the daily we have seen initial downside. So entering from a key level of support or resistance is very important when we are trading. Once the market managed to break from the structure entirely, we will be looking at potential selling opportunity here in this market for this drop down back below to this daily low, or even potentially breaking further low here. Having a plan is very important when you are trading, which is very, very important to have a trading plan. And when you have a trading plan, you can easily understand the movement in the market. There's a break here that you can see. So locally we can see the market is still maintaining this uptrending market structure. We could see the price to potentially continue to rise here back above this level to this this is a bearish fair value gap that you can see in this market, and that fair value gap is what you want to see the market to cross and continue to rise back again to create a new higher high. Once the price managed to reverse from this local trend, we will be looking at potential sell to this support level. This trend that you can see here now, it's on the lower time frame showing up to be bullish here in that market. Five minutes market structure here showing that possibly to be we could see some short-term upside move here in that market. So here's the move here that you can see on the lower time frame. There is a this is a downtrend. The market here back to back 3 15-minute candle and also 1 hour candle close here with a big bullish full body candle close. Now breaking this high here can give us potential selling opportunity here in that market. Lower time frame price action looking at rejection from this higher price, and once the market managed to break this trend, we will be looking at potential short opportunity here for this move back below in this market. So once the market managed to break that trend, we will be looking at that entry. Now here is what we are looking at today. If you look at that coming up unemployment claims, later in NOI session we'll be trading that one as well on live, and that's gonna be big news because unemployment claims really move the market a lot. And with that movement on unemployment claims, we can expect the market to have again potentially bigger trend, as this is a very important week. As you know that the Thursday, Friday, Monday, these are the high impact news days, and the market moves in fact due to that reason a lot. So today coming up unemployment claims, tomorrow also 3 high impact news. So basically these 2 days are also the last day of trading week. So as there will be the volume is needed for the market to see that the market is moving here. So if we look at in this level, what we are looking at here guys is the reversal, right? And to confirm a reversal, we want to see the market has formed that reversal and then change the trend from that uptrend to a downtrend. So you can see the market now in this area here, there is an initial break below here in that market. That can be a sign of reversal, but we cannot say that it has reversed from that level until we see that complete breakup structure and then retest continuation of the trend back again in the direction of the major trend. So if you look at here, this is now here, it is still uptrend, but slowly how the market structure is changing, if you look at, is the first time it has created that low. Instead of lower higher high and higher low, it's created lower low, which is a swing low here. Now this can be a breakup structure. As you can see, one single drop, the market still can continue to rise back up. But if the market failed to do so, if we see the market has rejected from this high here, drop back below, that's where we are looking at potential selling opportunity in this market. I hope that you guys have got that point. And when you will be entering as we trade more often in this live session, so make sure that guys you use proper risk management tool to calculate the lot size based on your account size, which is very important to look at as a trader. So now the current support is here. What's your thought on that? We can look for selling by pending order, not by market order, because we want to enter once the market has given enough confluence for this drop back below here, right? So the 15 minutes price action, we'll be placing a pending order below this support level. If you look at the 5 minutes here, this is a bullish fair value gap here, which is 40 to 43 pip, and that's a very important support. Now you can see the market is carrying rejection. It might range here. If it wants to change the trend, we could see the market is ranging in that area. Or even you could see the market continuing its uptrend back above to the daily resistance line. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. So there is a 4-hour candle close that you can see, which is also had a significant long wick candlestick pattern formation here. So the bias here can still be bearish that we discussed, and so there's a doji formation. This is the 4-hour market where there is a long wick back below, and this market might range here a little more time. This is the high and this is the low, and this is also the 4-hour bearish fair value gap. The market still can retest that level and then continue to trend back down. Here my bias here today is still bearish, so you want to see the market has managed to break down from the trend. Fibonacci 61.8 also. What time frame that Fibonacci that you are using? 61.8. Like a different time frame, you can find a different confluence. It's important that you define the time frame. I didn't get very clear confluence on Fibonacci, to be honest. I don't fully rely on it. I do look at sometimes, but if you look at that, sometime monthly and weekly shows some kind of results, but overall Fibonacci may not give you the full confluence for taking a trade. The best results that I found for entering is to use support and resistance with the liquidity graph. That means that higher time frame support and resistance from the daily 4-hour to the lower time frame, false breakdown or breakout, and then the market to resume the trend, right? That's where the best results come, because when you look at a false breakout or breakdown, that's where the liquidity, the market moves based on liquidity. So why it is so important? If you look at this in this entire move, right, this is the 1 minute move that you can see, right? But what move that you should be considering, because you can't take a trade every time, and that's also sometimes become a very vicious cycle of trading, over trading, or FOMO trading. But if you can spot the actual move that you need to take, it becomes much easier. And one of the best way to look at is to look at the false breakout. Okay, now how can you identify a false breakout? The market gives you more false breakout than the valid breakout, but there are ways that you can look at a breakout. Either it's a false breakout or a valid breakout. So how do you know that? Do you want to know that? Now, how can you know that this is a false breakout or a false breakdown? The only way that you can know, you can't know for sure, right? It's impossible for you to know a breakout is a false breakout or valid breakout. But there are ways that you can predict with high accuracy. And that is true smart money trading. That is where you started to see the actual results in your trading, when you look at those moves that in fact a false move. So the only way you can know or you can predict with high accuracy by looking at how the move has occurred in the key level of support or resistance. Identify important level. How can you identify important level? From the past move, past repeats. Okay, this is what happens in every dimension, right? Even according to science, people's thinking repeats. According to science, people think 90% of their thinking is repetitive. Even in fact, you will see that some people even from very childhood think the same thing over and over again, and that creates a loop that always, because that's the experience. So market also is a product of thinking from millions of people. So therefore, if you look at the past, this support that you can see, that's where the market returned back to the upside, right? So this is a support. Now when the market, again, the price is dropping to that level where the market has rejected from that level, that is where you can understand that this is a false breakout. Now the only indication that you can see this visible from the chart is by looking at how the move has reacted to that key support level, and that you can see only from ATR. So you don't have to use ATR indicator on your chart all the time measuring how many ATRs. Look at your eyes, see that if there is a one single impulse directly from the high to this support level with a bigger candlestick pattern, tested that level, rejected back again or candle close above, that's a potential false breakout. And that's where the smart money trade. And you can see that. How do you know that? The information that you have just heard is works from the actual visible information that you can see. What you have seen, there is a drop here and the market moved a lot. Now why this market moved a lot? Because the smart money has bought this market. Now why we didn't enter the trade is only because we are biased now in the bearish move, right? We are biased. If this is happened for our bearish signal, then definitely we will be entering into the trade. That's how. So you have to keep your bias in one direction for your entry, and then keep observing the price action to happen that, so that you can enter into the trade straight away when it happens with proper risk management. That is trading, guys. That is trading, right? And that's easy. not hard. All right, so you can see there is a lower time frame, there's a volume in the market, and with that volume the price is here is it reached that key level of resistance, and from there you can see the market trying to break that low here. And from the 4 hour we can see there is a long wick. Now this price action now heading back here, potentially to retest this support as a resistance, and that is what we're looking at for potential rejection back again here in that market. This move may extend further, and at any point we can expect potential rejection here back below to this support level. So the 15 minutes price action still bearish. So 1 minute, that once we see the market has created that pattern, we can look for selling here. So this move may extend above this level here, guys. So this might go back to 4198 or even 4200, and then could return back again, because this is the daily resistance as well. And that's where we might see the market to retest the low. There is a 10 EMA, and that might be because we are almost nearing to the end of the week, that might cross that market back above here again to create a new higher high in this market. So we are looking at this price action here to give us an entry opportunity, and because it's still showing that there is a potential bullish move, the market is approaching the daily resistance, we are not going any long, taking any long position here in that market. And that's what we are looking at this price action to show up potential move back here in that market. Now, how the multiple time frame candle close is important to look at. If you look at this 1 hour and the 4 hour price action, you can see there is a 4 hour candle close with a long wick, and once this market move up to this level here, we can look at possible sell entry, because the market already created an extended uptrending market structure here. And you can see the price slowly, the trend is becoming exhausted slowly. We might see that slowly the market trend got exhausted and could lead that market back again to this support level. Until we see the trend continues, we are watching the price action for that possible rejection from the trend. M1, yeah, this is where you can see lower time frame. The market structure is showing up here. Very important support here. The market is trying to break that low here in that area. So looking at the multiple time frame, we can see there is a rejection on the 15 minutes chart. Big bear candle has formed. Welcome. good day. Welcome back to this live session. Here you can see the market from this resistance line. It's slowly breaking that low here. That you can see the price is slowly building the pressure back below, expecting the market to potentially trend back down here to create a new lower low. So we are placing a sell stop order. My apology for the disruption. There was a little bit of audio disconnection. So we are back on track. So placing a sell stop order here, and in that area, looking at the breakup structure. If the market breaks below, will be on the trade and looking at potential break below. Now you can see the market slowly, this trend getting exhausted, and we might see that potential downside momentum here in this market. So we are placing a sell stop here below this low at 4187.78 and a stop loss at 4195.09 and take profit target at 4175.97. So this is where we're placing sell stop order in that area, and expecting that this market, if it breaks that low here, we can expect a potential rejection here for this market to create a potentially new lower low, because it's a downtrend. We can see there is a significant this is the 15 minutes bearish rejection, as we discussed. If this candlestick pattern breaks that low here, expecting it to continue to trend back to this today's low here. Let's see that where the market is heading, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the live session. Make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So it's a sell stop order. We'll be looking at to see where the market is heading. So looking at here for potential break below, and once the market managed to break that low here, this is where we are looking at this market for a potential drop. And we have here, because we can't take here below this daily low because there's a daily 10 EMA. Once the market break that low, we'll be looking that market to trend back down here to create a new lower low. Now the 15 minutes price action that we can see, there is a long week rejection that could bring that market back to this 15 minutes support level here, that we are looking at the probability here for the market to drop down back below in that area. And It's crucially important to see how the market is reacting to that. Now, becoming a trader means if you are either trading gold, anything crypto, or currencies, keep in mind one of the most difficult task for the trader to become profitable, right? This is a very important point, guys. Profitable. So to become profitable is that, remember, winner comes late, right? That's where the biggest trap everyone fall into that in trading. Because have you ever gone to the race, that like the event race, probably early, at home, at school, anywhere, the winner comes first, right? If you go for a run with few people, short 100-meter run, winner comes first, right? If you go to the exam in your school or in home, winner gets the highest mark, right? 80%, 90%, 95%. In trading, winner comes last. That's the difference. Because if you open, let's understand that how this works. Let's say you open one trade from here, long, and one trade from here. The stop loss is here and your profit target is here. So when you place the trade, sell trade, your stop loss is only 35 pip. Your profit target is 119 pip, right? Now, the market moves in the same speed. So now, to move 35 pip, if it takes 5 minutes, to move 120 pip, how many minutes it will take? Multiply it. 5 multiplication of 4 times, right? So 20 minutes. So to go to the profit target, at least it will take 20 minutes to 30 minutes. While to go to your stop loss, it takes only 5 minutes. So winner comes last. And that is where the patience comes. Because if you had 2 stop loss, 5 minutes, 10 minutes gone, and your account is, if you 1% risk, your account is 2% down, and it can be even 5% down with 3-4 stop loss. But if you keep the winner run, because they come last, if you keep 3% on each trade open till the profit target, at the end you're gonna got 6% up. A minus 5% from the 6%, your account is 1% up. That requires patience, that requires faith on the strategy, and consistency and discipline in your trading. So that's what I encourage every member in the academy as well, to trade in that the correct way, so that you guys can remain profitable, can remain in the market for a long time, can remain in trading. To make profit from trading, you don't need a big investment. You need a skill set. Trading is a skill set. Anyone can become trader. Anyone, right? And you don't have to quit your job either to become a trader. That's the beauty of becoming a trader. You need skill set, mindset. Now we are placed the pending order here, right? And this is what I'm expecting to see the market to drop. The market may go according to or may not. That is completely fine. We are looking at here to trade the probability. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream. Did you do that? And also don't miss out to pop that subscribe button so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. There's a little bit of disruption in audio, so I apologize for that, but it's working here. The screen is on. It has just broken that support here, and the trade is on. So we are on the trade here. As soon as I will be taking profit or doing anything, I'll give a shout out here. Let's see that how far it is coming down. back on track, back on audio. Thanks for that. Okay, so here is welcome back to this live session. So here is the market again. You see, after break of this low, it has another rejection back above here. And to see that if this market, if you look at the 15 minutes, getting another bounce of this level. If you look at the 1 hour here, we are also seeing the 1 hour candle close. 4 hour level, the market has tested the lower share on the 4 hour chart. Now looking at this market to break that low and then to create a new lower low. Welcome traders, welcome back to this live session. We are sell on gold and with a fully risk managed trade and looking for potential further bearish move to see that if the market is coming back to that previous daily low, as from the, if you look at the multiple time frame here, this is the 5-minute chart. And there's another 5 minutes candle closing here. So there is an inverse head and shoulder, and that inverse head and shoulder, you see that where the market possibly to this is the 1 hour candle close as well. If this 1 hour candle closing potentially as a expecting it to close as a back below, because the 4 hour price action here potentially to fill that long wick at the bottom, and that's the rule of thumb, right? So the market eventually could break that low here, and because 4 hour price action here, there is a long wick at the bottom, and it is it will be very unusual if the market breaks this high here, 4195, potentially to create a new higher high. But I would like to keep a little bit of space here, guys, for in case it creates a double top and a reject back again. So I'll be creating my stop loss at 4195.50, which will be just to give a room for the spread to fluctuate in case the market is moving there. So 4195.50. This is what looking at. For potentially, this is where there is a, if you look at, this is a resistance, and we're expecting the market to trend back down and then to create a new lower low. So we see that there is a rejection coming slowly in that area, and so this is the lower time frame price action. If you look at the 5 minutes, getting some with a long wick rejection, it left a significant imbalance in that direction here in this market. And that's what looking at this price action to show up. Waiting here for this potential rejection. The market has reached that key level of resistance, waiting for possible rejection back below here in that market, where the price has reached that high from the 4 hour. If we look at, and from the 1 hour, the candle close here, expecting the market to come back to this lower time frame support level again. If you look at the 15 minutes, there is a big 15 minutes green candle, and now the 5 minutes price action also closed. So the market in a zone where, and this is, for me, it's not a very strongly bull, but as I mentioned, the market at any point can create a false breakout and then continue to drop. That could happen. So that's why the risk management is key, keeping your stop loss in the right place, and then keeping the risk low. Wait for the market to show up its hand. So there's a pin bar here, and so if you look at, I was looking at the multiple time frame. This is the 1 hour price action, and if this price action eventually break that low, that is what looking to see the breaking, coming back to this intraday support. This double top. So you are at this level here on the 5-minute chart. There is a candle potentially closing as a doji, and reach that key level. Stop loss move at 4195.50, and this is the 1 hour high. So the candle closed on the 1 hour with a green bullish candle, and so it's a double top, and there is a doji. Now here, this 1 minute candle to see if it is going for a weak fill or coming to this order block again. Okay, so just for 1 peep, I got stopped out. I have re-entered. I have re-entered again. And that's very interesting. If you look at here, just for a peep, it got stopped out and I'm re-entering the trade again. So I'm sell again. So the market here, this is just for, depends on if you have the, here we can see the market just created the double top and then rejected back again. So I'm back on this trade and looking to see the market to have that reaction back again, back below in this market. So this is the lower time frame here we look at, and there is a significant rejection here in that market. Is your trade on, or you have re-entered, or what's your status? I have re-entered here just for, if you look at, it's less than a peep, it just got that hit here. Look at, this is very interesting. If you go at 4195.60, that might be a level that you could see, but that's very interesting. Anyway, we are on, I'm back on track, I'm back on the trade, and I'm looking at this market to give me potentially further downside here. So this is where the market is. If you look at this 5 minutes price section, expecting it to drop a lot back below. Even if it drop back below here, we will be able to see significant move in that direction. All right, so I'm on the trade. Are you on the trade? Welcome. So here, as the market rejected after creating a double top, looking to see that the price to come back below here. So the profit target, the new entry that I have got here is at 4192.93. So the my entry here at 4192.93, and stop loss here at 4195.60. 4195.60. So basically 4196.03 I'm placing at stop loss. 4196.00, and TP target play keeping in the same area at 4175.97, and looking for potential rejection back here to the major direction of the trend. Welcome. So if you look at here, the 5 minutes candlestick pattern also created a long doji, and expecting it to turn that down back below here. Welcome. It's very interesting here. So in this trade, the next entry here that I have only 32 pip stop loss here, and looking at this market to potentially create a bearish move. So this next trade that looking at currently to take us back. Now, if this market, if you look at here, it's created a double top, and with this double top, looking at this price action to show up for a downward trend here in that market. So with this doji that you can see, bearish engulfer followed by a doji, that might bring that market to melt back below here in that market. And this is a consolidation. Looking for that potential reversal back below in this market. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Just getting a very stronger reaction. Double top. Triple top here. And so there is a, if you look at with this 1 hour price action, got a very sharp rejection from this lower price. It so we might be looking to see that today the market may remain bullish. So looking at this market to potentially continue to trend back up. So you'll be looking to see how the market structure is forming in this session. It might be going back to this daily resistance line here, where the price action may go back and retest this high, but eventually you could see from this daily resistance the price may continue to create that bearish move again. So you're almost nearing to the end of this session. Looking to see the next session coming up in NY time, unemployment claims. We'll be looking to see how we can look at that session here. Until that, we'll be looking to see potentially the market sentiment changing as we are almost end of the week, or we could see the price to go ahead and then rejection back again below from the daily resistance here. So as soon as we will find the trend again, we will be entering the trade. Until that, guys, stay well, stay happy. We'll see you again in the next session as soon as we will be starting the NY time.